Hey y'all, it's Angel, your best friend who happens to be a therapist. I still can't believe they talked me into doing a podcast, but here I am and here we go. I'm not gonna lie to you, we gonna talk about everything. Nothing's off limits, the good, bad, and the ugly. So put your seatbelt on and enjoy the ride. Hey friend, we are going to talk about something that is extremely valuable, risky to give, hard to receive, and sometimes impossible to repair when it's broken. Yep, you got it. It's trust. And I'm not going to lie, it's levels to this shit, right? Trust is not given, it is earned. Trust is definitely earned. And this is how you earn trust from others and how you learn to trust others, right? It's very simple. It is when someone's words matches their actions over time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? The person is going to tell you things. Some are going to be true, some are not going to be true. But you have to stick around to watch and wait and see what they do. If it doesn't match, no bueno, don't trust, right? If it does match, then you can start applying what level you want them to be in your life. Before I get into the levels, let's talk about some examples, right? So you out, you're on the dating scene, you're chit-chatting, and the person that you are interested in, they say, oh yeah, I love my family, me and my family, we super tight, we hang out, we do this, we do that, right? And you're like, oh, that's cool, because I'm family oriented too, that matters to me. We do all this stuff together, we do this, we do that, and then you say, okay, cool. So as you are, talking to this person and getting to know this person, what you're going to do is you're going to wait and see, do you hear them talking about they got to go over their cousin's house, or they about to go visit their mother, or, they can't go meet up with you because they got their cousin's day out, or if you're calling and say, oh, I'm about to leave my mother's house, I'm going to call you when I leave. If that ain't happening, then it ain't matching. You don't see it showing up at all in their life, right? So the key factor I feel that people struggle with the most when implementing my definition of trust is the time piece, right? They do. They tell you all the great things. When they first meet somebody, you don't go and tell them all your shit, all your weaknesses, all your flaws. You don't present with that. You present with the best shit you got. And that's great. And that's what we all do. All of us do it. However, some of that shit ain't true. In order for you to find that out, you got to give it time to see if this person's words is matching their actions. Now you're going to ask me, how much time? All my friends ask, well, Angel, how much time? Or my clients ask, how much time? It depends on the goal for that relationship, right? Is it a business relationship? Is it a family relationship? Because just because you blood don't mean that automatically equals trust. We're talking about human to human trust. Titles don't matter here. Is it a romantic relationship, right? Is this a spouse? Is this a partner? So all of that stuff helps to dictate the time piece. Now, of course, this is where the levels come in, right? So I say that there are 5 levels of trust. Titles don't matter because remember, trust is earned with someone's words matching their actions over time. Because titles don't regulate either part of that formula. So I know that's kind of hard to hear for some, but it is what it is. All mamas ain't created equal, all daddies ain't created equal, all siblings ain't created equal, all spouses ain't created equal. There's only one title that is created equal, and that's God. Now that's a word. So, trust, the levels to the trust. So there are 5 levels. The center, level 0, think of a circle, and right in the middle of that circle, dead smack in the middle, is your core. That is where you and God live. That's level 0. Level 1, the next layer outside of that, is where your partner lives. That's where your spouse, sometimes your best friend. It is those people, and sometimes it's just one person, right? But those are the people that you would actually trust your life with, right? Or a secret, and you know it's not going to leave their lips, right? Or maybe even trust your children with, or your pets with, because you know they're going to care for them the same way you would, right? So level 1 is a very, very, very special place that should be difficult to get to. Level 2 is the layer right outside of that, and that is where family and friends live that you trust, that they have, earned your trust over time with their words and their actions matching. That's where those family and friends live. Now remember, all family is not created equal. Titles don't matter here. So there are going to be some family members that are in level 2, and there are going to be some that are on some of the outer layers, depending on who they have shown themselves to be to you. Level 3, that's where your associates are. Those are the people that you know of, that you may have went to school with back in the day, but you don't really know them that well, personally right now. Sometimes when you are, mixing kind of business with personal, this is kind of that gray area where your coworker is now your friend, and now they made it to kind of like the associate level. They might not know everything people on level 2 know, but they know some things, right? And they've earned their way there. Now, people can fluctuate. You can move from these levels. It's just because you make it there don't mean you stay there. Let's be clear about that too. These are all flexible and they will all move. Level 4, that's where business lives. Now, I'm a very strong advocator and believer that you keep business separate from personal. Please do that. Have y'all ever heard of the saying, you don't shit where you eat? That's what that is for, right? You do not mix those two things, because you've seen that go left a lot. That's where business lives, separate from personal. And then there's level 5. That's stranger danger. You are a straight up stranger. I just met you. I barely know your name. I'm just getting to know you. This is that dating realm. If you're dating, they all start at 5. So those are the levels. How do people move through the levels, right? Through 1 through 5, with their words and their actions matching over time. That gets you closer to the core. And time is the most important factor, because like I said before, everyone shows you their best self up front. So in stranger danger zone, they showing you their best self. So it's going to take some time to a 3 and a 2. While time is an important factor for sure, it's not the only one, right? So you may know someone for 10 years and they've been in the stranger danger zone for 10 years. And it's not because they're dangerous. It's just because they've never gone below the surface with you, and vice versa. That they have just kept it as surface can be. And that's just kind of where they live and where they stay. They haven't really done anything for you not to trust them, never really done anything for you to trust them. They're just kind of there, and you see them when you see them. Sometimes people put those people on the associate level too, where I might see you once or twice a year, and I might talk to you a couple times a year, and we're cool, but you ain't my friend. Friend to me equals trust, right? So if I call you my friend, that means I trust you. But if we cool, then you're an associate, and I trust you on a surface level, no, not close to my core at all. So time does not dictate you moving alone. There's different variables, which of course are the words and the actions. Now, one thing I didn't talk about was when you see something that you don't like. Where do you put them? Level 5, did you say? You will be correct. Level 5. Or maybe no level at all. Not 0 at the core where you and God are, but maybe they don't even belong in your circle at all. No layer, right? Because if you watching, if the person is just dishonest and their words and their actions are not matching, that might be a turnoff for you where you're like, I don't want that person in my life at all. So they stay in stranger danger. Like I said, not in the circle at all, and you just choose not to associate with them at all. One thing I want to encourage you to do is to believe them when they show you who they are. When their words and their actions are not matching, believe them. Don't be trying to make excuses and justify it, and just because you're trying to feel a need within yourself, you might be filling it with something that is toxic to you. And yes, if they do it to somebody else, there is a likelihood that they may do it to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Learning to trust, it's a process. And it is not one that is quick. It is not one that is fast. And sometimes it's one that's a little hurtful, because we have those personal wants and needs, and we want to get them filled by any means necessary. And believing someone for who they have shown themselves to be, sometimes that's a little hard to accept. That's the hard part, is accepting the person for who they have shown themselves to be. Because those titles be messing people up sometimes. Some titles, boy, I tell you, they'll get you every time. Remove the title and look at the human being. Apply the definition of trust and go from there. Y'all got this. See you next time. Thanks for listening to I'm Not Gonna Lie to You podcast. Subscribe for more insightful and down-to-earth content. And don't forget to follow us on social media at An Angel's Touch 8 on Instagram and An Angel's Touch Therapy on Facebook.